So let us start with the new topic. I guess I have to keep my video off today. I don't know what is the issue going on. Okay, so starting with I can't say it is an important chapter, but yes, it is to be used. It is used at many places, and the chapter is your registration. When it comes to the chapter of registration, you have to properly understand the meaning of taxable person. Who is a taxable person? We have already discussed it n number of times. A taxable person already registered. He is also a taxable person. And a person who is liable to register, he is also a taxable person. When it comes to registration का concept, from section number 22 to you will find section number 30, a very small chapter it is. But what is important is my section number 22, section number 23, as well as my section number 24. These sections are at most important to me. When it comes to section number 22, what it is all about? Chalo. Can you see the screen? The concept of taxable person. The concept of taxable person we have already discussed. The taxable person means a person who is registered or who is liable to register. That is nothing but a taxable person. But if a person is already registered, he would be registered either section 22 mein, or he would have been registered under section 24. Section number 22 is when you cross the threshold limit, then you are required to get registered. Section number 22 is when you cross the threshold limit, then only you are required to get registered. And section number 24, when it is compulsory registration. So remember, there are two sections. Section number 22, when there is threshold limit. Section number 24, when there is compulsory registration, and if you are either getting registered under 24 or getting registered under 22, you are called as a taxable person. Understood this? Any doubt in this? So whenever it comes to taxable person, you have to focus on the word whether a section is applicable to both taxable person or it is only for a registered person. When it comes to assessment wala chapter, we have already discussed. Assessment wala chapter is applicable to taxable person. That means whether it is registered or liable to register. But there is a concept. What is the concept we have studied in supply? That supply should be done by a registered person. Remember? So if you interchange the word, the interpretation of section will change. So basically, you have to study very well whether it is for a taxable person or whether it is for a registered person. Now, when it comes to your registration wala part, section number 20 will tell you who are liable to register. Section 23 who are not liable to register. Section 24 compulsory registration. Now this is procedural part. This is nothing but a procedural part, very easy, and this would be important. 29 and 30. So when I talk about GST ka registration chapter, what are the important section for me? 22, 23, 24 are important, and then 29 and 30 are at most important sections for me. When it comes from 25 to 28, these are just procedural part. Okay. Noted? Chalo. So let us move towards person liable to get registered. The person who are liable to get registered. Every supplier, first of all, it is about every supplier whether supplier is of goods or whether supplier is of service. Why the word supplier is used? Because now he is not yet registered, So every supplier is liable to get registered under the state, union territory, other than special category state. Why other than special category state has been written, we will come to know. From where he makes taxable supply of goods or service. So let me have a crux. Every supplier will be liable to get registered if he does a taxable supply of goods and service. Do not focus on writing. Every supplier is liable to get registered if he does a taxable supply of goods and service, and if the aggregate turnover in financial year exceeds not only 20 lakh, it could be 40 lakh, it could be 10 lakh, depends. Okay. So first of all, my keyword is every supplier. My keyword is taxable supply of goods and service. My keyword is aggregate turnover financial year 20 lakh. Now, suppose this is a supplier. He is supplying goods, a supplier that is supplying goods, but the goods is exempt nature ka goods. The goods are altogether exempt, not liable to GST. Are bhai, when it is not liable to GST, when it is what not liable to GST, what is the logic of getting that person registered? Is there any logic of getting that person registered? So therefore, specifically what has been told, specifically this has been told that the supplier should be doing taxable supply. Understood? Now, one more example. Suppose this is a supplier supplying the goods or giving service, supply of service, and entire service is covered under reverse charge mechanism. Entire service is getting covered under reverse charge mechanism. Is he liable to get registered?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Compulsory registration.
Registration.
No, you are wrong.
No, ma'am.
That is for the receiver to be compulsory registered.
That is, receiver should get compulsory registration. This is a person he is supplying. He is supplying services. Now the services are covered under RCM. This is my recipient, and recipient is compulsory required to pay the tax. The supply made by this supply, yes, it is taxable supply. So yes, it is a taxable supply. This is a supply making taxable supply of service. Yes. But these taxes are to be paid by who? Recipient. So in such a case, it is not compulsory for this person to get registered. In such a case, it is compulsory for recipient to get registered, because even if a single supply getting covered under RCM, he is compulsory required to get registered. Understood? Second,
Ma'am, can you please repeat?
this is a supplier, he's supplying the supply of services. Even if a single service get covered under reverse charge mechanism, it is compulsory for recipient to get registered. Now, what about this supplier? Ma'am, as per this definition, every supplier making taxable supply of service, he is required to get registered. But this has been given in your section number 23 specifically. If you are doing all the services that you are not liable to comply the tax card compliances, in such a case, do not get registered. So they have exempted this person from registration and made this person compulsory to get registered. Understood? So first of all, first analysis is every supplier who gives taxable supply then only required to get registered. Ma'am, now I am supplying both, supply of goods also, supply of service also. It is possible a person can do supply of goods as well as supply of services. In such a case, ma'am, my goods are totally exempt. My service is taxable. My goods are totally exempt. My service is taxable. Would I get registered only for the purpose of goods, or I have to get registered in overall?
Overall.
Overall.
Okay, you said overall. But first of all, please focus. Goods are completely exempt. Service pay you have 20 lakh ka limit. In such a case, till that crosses the 20 lakh ka limit, till that you cross the 20 lakh ka limit, you should not get registered. Because these are totally exempt. This is 20 lakh altogether exempt. So you have to cross the aggregate turnover. If the aggregate turnover crosses 20 lakh, then you will be liable to get registered. Now, ma'am, what is aggregate turnover? We will come to know it. Understood? So every time you have to check, first of all, taxable supply, and after taxable supply, second thing you have to check is the aggregate turnover. Done? Now provided. What is being provided now? Provided that there is a proviso. Person who makes taxable supply of goods or service from any special category state. When it comes to special category state, instead of 20 lakh, 10 lakh is the aggregate turnover limit. There are certain special category state. We will come to know what are the special category state, but there the turnover is 10 lakh instead of 20 lakh. Further, government may, at request of special category or recommendation of council, enhance this turnover. This is just a simple thing कि they can enhance this turnover ka limit. Not at all right now important for me. So first of all, it is aggregate turnover 20 lakh. However, if you belong to special category ka state, then the turnover is 10 lakh. Now again, is GST state-wise registration or GST is centralized registration?
State-wise registration.
State-wise registration.
GST is my state-wise registration. So when GST is my state-wise registration, point number 1. Suppose, for an example, there is a special category state. Suppose it is Manipur. Manipur is a special category state. I am registered in MP. I am registered in Maharashtra. I am registered in UP. I am also registered in Kerala. I am also registered in Manipur. Because it is state-wise registration, I have to get registered in every state. So when I am liable to get registered in every state, now out of that, one of my state is what? One of my state is special category ka state. Now, would my entire turnover limit would be 20 crore or it would still be 10 crore?
10 crore, man. 10 lakh.
10 lakh. Would it be entire 20 lakh or it would be 10 lakh?
20 lakh.
No, there is a rule, there is a section that if amongst the various states, even a single state is a special category state, your entire turnover limit will come to that wala state ka turnover ka limit. That means 10 lakh it would be. So when institute frames a question, they will give you any other state, different state, and one state, suppose they have given Mizoram. So you have to remember that when they have given a different state, you cannot apply 20 lakh wala limit. If you apply the 20 lakh limit, altogether wrong. Understood? So pointers we have done. It should be supplier who is making taxable supply. Third, it is what aggregate turnover, either 20 lakh or 10 lakh. If it is special category state, it is 10 lakh the turnover. If out of various state, even one single state is a special category state, your overall turnover limit will turn to 10 lakh rupees. Done? Now, provided also government at request of state or recommendation of council, they can also enhance this 20 lakh limit also. they can also enhance this 20 lakh ka limit, not exceeding 40 lakh in case supplier is engaged in supply of goods. As I told you, there are three limits: 10 lakh ka limit, 20 lakh ka limit, and another limit is my 40 lakh. They have given three limits. So specifically when it is only exclusively supply of goods, when a person is exclusively engaged in supply of goods, the turnover limit will be 40 lakh. Is it everywhere? No. There are certain states you have to learn, only in that certain state the limit is 40 lakh. So basically, if I do the crux, point number 1, supplier has to do this taxable supply of goods and service. Aggregate turnover could be 20 lakh, 10 lakh or 40 lakh. 40 lakh is exclusively supply of goods. 10 lakh in special category states. 20 lakh in general. But if any of my state is special category state, my entire limit will change from 20 or 40 lakh to 10 lakh. Understood? Itna done?
Yes, ma'am.
मैम
मैम अगर 20 और 40 लाख की लिमिट हुई तो मींस 20 एप्लीकेबल होगा दोनों जैसे
Yes. Chalo. Every person who on the day immediately preceding the appointed date is registered or holds a license under an existing law shall get registered from that appointed date. Appointed date means when the GST become applicable. So if you were immediately before the date of GST applicability already a registered person, you have to get registered under GST law also. That was as simple as that. Am I required to read it again? Never. Obviously, they would not ask this. If you were registered before GST, now in GST also get registered. It is as simple as that. Now this is important. We have already discussed it where a business carried on by a taxable person registered under the Act, either on succession or otherwise to other person as going concern. He gives the business either in succession or he otherwise transfer the business to other person as going concern. That successor is liable to get registered from the date of transfer or succession. Kahan padha tha ye? Where we have studied this?
In demand and recovery.
RCM.
RCM, yes. Supply definition, schedule number 1, exception.
Yes.
Even you will find this in mega exemption. Now, what is the analysis of this? If a person, he is having his business. Okay. एक person है, the person is having his business. Now suppose this person is unregistered person. The person is what? Unregistered person. If an इधर सिर्फ अभी ना समझने पे फोकस करो, लिख लेना बाद में, रुको. If an unregistered person transfer the business, if my unregistered person transfers the business to again an unregistered person. So see, basically he was unregistered. Now he has transferred business to an unregistered person. He is unregistered. Now he has transferred the business to an unregistered person. Government को वैसे भी tax नहीं मिलना था. Government was anyhow not liable to collect the tax in such a case because both were unregistered. So here the provision does not apply that get compulsory registered. इतना समझ में आया पहले? Done? Now, changing the scenario. When an unregistered person transfers the business to a registered person. So even when an unregistered person transfer a business to a registered person, now after getting the business, registered person will pay the tax. इसमें भी कोई logic नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. Are you getting? Say yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
when an unregistered person, he transfers a business to when a registered person transfer a business to a registered person. then also no issue. Why? Because you were registered. Okay. You are transferring the business as a going concern. Okay. This person is already registered. अब आगे से क्या करेगा? On after getting this business, this person will be paying the taxes. So government is not concerned about all this thing. Government is saying when you transfer the business to an unregistered person, a registered person transfer the business to an unregistered person, going concern basis, that unregistered person is required to get registered. Why? Because now you get registered, because from now onwards, you are the person who will be paying the taxes on all the supplies. And this transfer as a going concern, this transfer of business as a going concern has been exempted in mega exemption. What is the logic of exemption given in mega exemption? So basically they are saying कि if this is the person who is already a registered person, he transfers the business as going concern. Now business will be carried forward by this person. If this person is unregistered, you get registered. Compulsory, you have to get registration. Now, if you get registered from now onwards, you will be paying the supply pay taxes. If you are already registered, we are not concerned because anyhow you are registered, you have to pay the tax. So specifically, when a registered person transfers the business to an unregistered person, it has been mega exempted. On this, they are not charging any GST. Why? Because they know when this person will supply these goods, he will eventually pay the taxes. Understood? So therefore, to make him pay the taxes, registration is made compulsory for the successor.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I think so. You are saying कि उस transfer की services पर GST नहीं है ना?
हिंदी में बोलते हैं ये पर्सन है, ये रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन है, इसने ये जो बिजनेस ट्रांसफर किया, बिजनेस ट्रांसफर करना भी तो गुड्स ट्रांसफर करना है, सप्लाई हो गया ना ये, ट्रांसफरिंग द बिजनेस इज आल्सो अ सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स. तो यहाँ पे इस सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स को दे हैव मेगा एग्जेम्प्टेड, नहीं लगेगा इस ये वाला जो सप्लाई आपने किया कुछ नहीं लगेगा मेगा एग्जेम्प्टेड. क्यों? आप इसे एज ए गोइंग कंसर्न ट्रांसफर कर रहे हो. गोइंग कंसर्न मतलब योर बिजनेस विल बी कंटिन्यूड बाय सम अदर पर्सन, दूसरा पर्सन इस बिजनेस को कंटिन्यू करेगा. तो स्पेसिफिकली बोल रहे कि अगर एक रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन ने अपना बिजनेस ट्रांसफर किया है टू अदर पर्सन, इन सच ए केस दैट पर्सन शुड गेट रजिस्टर, क्योंकि उसके बाद जो भी ट्रांसफर होगा उस पे इसको क्या करना पड़ेगा, टैक्सेस वो पे करेगा. मतलब तुम तो छूट के जा रहे हो लेकिन इसको फंसा के जाना. आर यू गेटिंग दिस हर्षा? ठीक है.
Ma'am,
हाँ,
is this applicable for both mergers and acquisitions? The acquisition, for example, the company merges in and company ceases to exist. उसके बाद company merges into some other company. उसके बाद
everywhere when you transfer business as a going concern, they should come, other person should compulsory get registered. The condition is the transfer is a registered person. The person who transfer, if he was a registered person and transfer as a going concern, ये registered person है, transfer is going concern. Now what if this registered person transfer the business but the other person will not continue the business? In such a case, this transfer is here and now it is taxable. Abhi ke abhi pay karo because it is a supply. Now it is not mega exempted. So when registered person transfer business to unregistered person as going concern, not as going concern, mega exempt, taxable. Other person should get registered.
So ma'am, going concern will be applicable even in case of merger. क्योंकि उसके बाद तो company ceases to exist after
Yes.
it gets merged.
Yes. Done? Noted?
हम एक बार दिखाए मैम, एक बार.
जल्दी लिखा करो थोड़ा. I will take a screenshot.
मैम ठीक है मैम, हो गया.
Now, notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1 and 3. Subsection 3 and then your subsection 1, that was your threshold limit. Notwithstanding anything contained in 1 and 3, in case of transfer under the scheme of amalgamation, under the scheme of demerger, two or more companies on order of High Court getting merged, on order of tribunal getting demerged, transferee shall be liable to register. It is shall. It is not about your threshold limit. It is not about going concern. Now, no condition of threshold limit, no condition of that going concern business. It is compulsory that the transferee should be liable to get registered from the date on which registrar of company issued certificate of incorporation. This is important MCQ point of view. They might ask you a date when under High Court or Supreme Court ka order an amalgamation is done. What is the effective date of registration? The date of registration should be when the certificate of incorporation is given. Done? So basically, have we discussed supplier doing taxable supply of goods and service? Threshold limit is 30, threshold limit is 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 40 lakh. 10 lakh in special category state, 20 lakh general, 40 lakh exclusively for goods, right? 40 lakh is exclusively for goods. Then it should be a aggregate turnover. What is aggregate turnover? We don't know, but we will study. When registered person transfer business and as a going concern, so whenever he transfer business as a going concern and other person is unregistered person, compulsory he should get registered. And when under amalgamation, demerger under the order of court, they are getting merged or demerged, then date when the certificate of incorporation is issued, they should get registered. Okay. Now, coming to what is aggregate turnover? Very, very, very important. Why? Because this aggregate turnover ka concept is applicable here. This aggregate ka turnover ka concept applicable where? Composition scheme. Both the places this is a important concept. You might find composition ka question every time. Every time there is a composition levy ka question. So it is important. Aggregate turnover include all the supplies made by taxable person. What is being written over here? Taxable person. You cannot write a registered person over here. Reason. Aggregate turnover क्यों check करते हो? Aggregate turnover check करने का reason to check whether the person is liable to get registered or not. Aggregate turnover is a benchmark to check whether the person is eligible to get registered or not. So basically, when he is not registered, he will be called a taxable person and he might get liable to get registered. So always use the word with aggregate turnover. All the supplies by taxable person on his account or on behalf of all his principal. Now, on behalf of all his principal, what does this mean?
एजेंट के टर्नओवर.
Agent turnover, exactly. And where we have done this agent wala concept?
Schedule 1.
Yes. What was that? Schedule 1? Para?
without consideration still
Para
it
three.
is okay.
Para 3 ma'am.
Para 3.
Yeah, para 3.
Was it Del Creditor agent, normal agent, issue invoice? Remember?
Yes.
Yes ma'am.
So whether this taxable person, if taxable person does on his own account the supply or on behalf of the principal, it will be counted in his turnover. किधर काउंट होगा, उसके टर्नओवर में ही काउंट होगा. इफ यू आर एजेंट आल्सो इट वुड बी काउंटेड इन योर टर्नओवर बिकॉज यू कैन इशू इनवॉइस. जब यू कैन इशू द इनवॉइस देन इट विल बी काउंटेड एज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर टर्नओवर. ठीक है. नाउ फॉर सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स आफ्टर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ जॉब वर्क, अरे ये कहीं तो पढ़ा है, supply of goods after completing the job work by a registered job worker shall be treated as supply of goods by principal. Is that an exception? Remember, job worker can sell the goods from his place also, from his premises he could sell the goods, but that goods, sale of goods will be considered to be supply of job worker only. नहीं, job worker का ही supply माना जाएगा ना?
No.
No,
Principal. So that was an exception we have discussed in job work. कि even if job worker after the completion of his job work supply the good directly from the premises, in such a case it will be principal का turnover only, but principal has to mention that it is additional place of business. Remember?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, and the value of goods shall not be included in aggregate turnover of job worker. This is an exception actually. Generally, aggregate turnover either on own account, either on the account of principal, it would be counted. But when it comes to job worker wala part, even if job worker supplying for you, it will be counted in your turnover only. Done? What is special category state? Special category state are the expression special category state shall mean as a specified states of constitution except the state of Jammu Kashmir, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Himachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Uttarakhand. Special category state कौन सी है? Special category states अभी ये इतने नहीं है. There are certain more special category state. I will give you a table on that. For the time being, ignore. Just for the time being, ignore this language. ठीक है. So basically we have done the threshold limit. Yes, threshold limit is 20 lakh, 10 lakh, 40 lakh. 40 lakh goes for exclusively service, right?
No ma'am, goods. Supply of goods.
For goods.
Exclusively supply of goods. 10 lakh was general, na?
No
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Special
No
category.
ma'am, 20 lakh is general.
Is 20 lakh general?
Yes.
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 20 lakh for whether goods, whether service or only service?
Both, ma'am.
Both ma'am. Whether
Both
goods or
also,
service
and
are
when
both.
it is exclusively service, interstate supply of service also 20 lakh ka threshold there, na?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Then, what is my aggregate turnover? So let us come to the aggregate turnover का part. What is aggregate turnover? सबसे पहले aggregate, total. What do you mean by aggregate? In MP, I am registered with same PAN number. You have to get registered under same PAN. I am registered in Maharashtra, same PAN number. Registered in UP, same PAN number. So it would be, suppose here I make 5 lakh ka turnover. Here I make 12 lakh ka turnover. Here I make 3 lakh ka turnover. So what is aggregate? State-wise overall aggregate. So are you getting the meaning of aggregate? Aggregate meaning is overall state-wise same PAN. I'm focusing. It should be same PAN wala registration. Then count this 5 lakh plus 12 lakh gives me 17 lakh and 3 lakh is 20 lakh. Am I liable to get registered? I'm 20 lakh. My aggregate turnover 20 lakh. Should I get registered?
Yes.
No.
Yes
Yes.
ma'am.
More than
No, ma'am.
Now
It should
you
exceed 20 lakh.
More than 20 lakh.
more than 20 lakh.
You failed to notice this point. What was the point? Exceed. So focus on that word exceed. Even it is equal to 20 lakh, you are not liable to get registered because you have not crossed threshold limit. You should cross the threshold limit first. So first of all, are you getting the meaning of aggregate? That is state-wise aggregate if you are registered under same pen. When it comes to overall turnover will have everything, whether it is taxable turnover, whether it is exempt turnover, whether it is export, whether it is interstate, matlab any type of supply, whatever you do, any type of supply will be counted, whether taxable, whether exempt, whether export, whether interstate, any, but it should be under same pen. Okay. But what about this? No, we will not count CGST, no SGST, no UTGST, no IGST, no compensation, says one logic I need, one word logic. What is that? Why not counting all this? Tell me. Already
Because-
explained.
ये मैम बिकॉज रजिस्ट्रेशन के पहले हम लोग ये सब चार्ज नहीं करते.
Tell me, already explained. What is the logic for this?
ये
What is the question?
It says supply now,
Yes.
so supply does not include GST.
No, so what is the logic? Why you are excluding from aggregate turnover all these elements of GST? What was the reason? Many times I have told the reason.
Value of supply also not included.
Reason, Madhi. Why value of supply not including?
GST पर GST थोड़ी लगेगा.
Nah, that is just a benchmark whether you want to get registered or not. We are not discussing whether we have to apply GST or not. यहाँ पे we are calculating this aggregate turnover to check the benchmark whether the person has crossed the benchmark or whether he is required to get registered. So it is not about applicability of GST. But what is the logic of not including all these things?
हम because supply की value तो जो value of good है actual वही होगी ना. And rest tax which will be paid to government.
Yes, this is the government ka revenue, not your revenue. You are just acting as an agent for government and collecting revenue for government. So this belongs to government. This is something that is belonging to government. It is not your revenue का part. तुम्हारे पास नहीं रहने वाला ये पैसा. This will not belong to you. This paisa, this rupee belong to government. Understood? So no. But ma'am ये क्या? Value of inward supply. Inward. Value of inward. What do you mean by inward supply?
परचेज मैम.
Yes. When it is purchase, I am just using the common line word purchase. Value of purchase on which tax is payable under reverse charge mechanism. Now you are paying the taxes under reverse charge mechanism. You should not include in your aggregate turnover. Reason?
Because you
Because you
purchase
are not
before
required to pay tax on it.
ना because ये purchase है. This is not a supply. This is your turnover. यहाँ पे turnover की बात चल रही है. यहाँ पे purchase की बात नहीं चल रही. मैम फिर ये क्यों specifically pointer दिया? Because you are paying taxes ना. So don't get confused. Even if you are paying the taxes, that is your purchase because of which you are paying the taxes under reverse charge mechanism. That is not your turnover. Understood?
Okay. ma'am.
Basically, what my aggregate turnover include? If you are supplying in the same pen in India, then whether you are doing taxable supply, exempt supply, export, interstate, everything will be counted, but my GST ka any portion will not be counted, and inward supply on RCM basis will not be counted for aggregate turnover. Done?
मैम पेज नंबर 9.6 पे लिखा हुआ है कि इट फ्रॉम वेयर ही मेक्स अ टैक्सेबल सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज, और जब हम वैल्यू ऑफ एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं तो हम उसमें एग्जेम्प्ट सप्लाईज भी काउंट कर रहे हैं.
मुझे पता था ये क्वेश्चन आएगा, क्योंकि ये क्वेश्चन कंपोजिशन स्कीम में आता ही है, 100% होता है. See, when it comes to aggregate turnover, ठीक है, aggregate means I will check your overall turnover. Aggregate में तो हम पूरा चेक करेंगे, but suppose you do only exempt. Even you cross 20 lakh also, even you cross 10 lakh also, even you cross 40 lakh also, register होके भी क्या करोगे?
ठीक है.
Are you getting? So when it is combination wala supply, combination means you are doing exempt supply also, you are going with the taxable supply also. In such a case, overall aggregate we will see कि in a year overall aggregate तुम्हारा कितना है. But if we find that you don't have any taxable nature का supply, it is only exempt, and export भी तुम्हारा zero rated supply है. It is altogether zero rated. It is interstate and interstate only of service you are doing. Export भी नहीं है, let's say. ना export है ना कुछ है. Exempt को total किया, interstate total किया, it is service. Only 15 lakh it is coming. Not liable to get registered. Understood?
मैम
Hmm.
मैम अगर एक स्टेट में हमारा जो है एग्जाम सप्लाई है टोटली और दूसरे स्टेट में हमारे पास एग्जाम प्लस टैक्सेबल सप्लाई है.
अभी आगे आएगा कि for particularly that state you don't need to get registered.
Where it is exam supply.
Yes, if all together exempt. Suppose I have UP, I have MP, and I have, let's say, एक और कोई भी स्टेट ले लेते हैं, महाराष्ट्र ले लेते हैं. Here I am doing only RCM वाला सर्व, only RCM related supply. Here I am doing exclusive goods वाला supply. ठीक है? And here I am doing what? Exclusively exempt supply. Even though my aggregate turnover has crossed, I am not required to get registered here. Not required to get registered here. I will get registered only in MP. क्योंकि उन्होंने section 22 में what wordings they have used, that every supplier liable to get registered in a state, in such union territory, other than special category, from where, in that state only from where you make taxable supply. Understood?
Yes ma'am.
मैम हम अगर कोई सिर्फ सर्विस देता है और टर्नओवर 21 लाख से तो फिर उसको रजिस्टर होना पड़ेगा.
Yes, 21 lakh. We should get registered, but if altogether exempt nature का service, no registration needed.
20 लाख एग्जाम्प्ट और 1 लाख की वजह से उसको होना पड़ेगा, राइट?
हाँ, बट वही बोल रहा था, उसका बेस ऑफ द सर्विस ऐसा है कि नहीं भाई वो तो सर्विस ही एग्जेम्प्ट है. जैसे अभी हम पढ़ेंगे मेगा एग्जेम्पशन में एजुकेशनल सर्विस एग्जेम्प्ट, फिर तो तुम 1 करोड़ पे भी पहुंच जाओ तो रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं. डन?
मैम मेरे को ना समझ में नहीं आया, कंफ्यूजन हो गया. जो आपने कहा था कि टैक्सेबल सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और यहाँ पे एग्जेम्प्ट भी इंक्लूड होगा, ये कैसे हो रहा है?
क्या समझ नहीं आ रहा है हर्षा? क्या
मैम 9.6 पे वही सेम क्वेरी विच है.
अभी तो ये बताया कि बेंचमार्क चेक करना है हर्षा. अगर बेंचमार्क चेक करने के लिए मुझे सब कुछ एक बार इंक्लूड करना पड़ेगा. अब उस बेंचमार्क में मुझे ये दिखा कि सिर्फ एग्जेम्प्ट नेचर की सारी सप्लाई से तुम 20 लाख भी क्रॉस हो गए, खत्म हो गई बात.
ओके.
बेसिकली तुम्हें चेक करना है कि सामने वाले को रजिस्टर करे या नहीं करे, तब तो तुम सारे के सारे टर्नओवर उसके देखोगी ना.
ओके.
फिर अब देख लिया सारा टर्नओवर, फिर पता चला एक स्टेट में तो सिर्फ एग्जेम्प्ट नेचर चल रहा है, उस स्टेट में रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं लेंगे. फिर एक स्टेट में पता चला कि ये लिमिट क्रॉस कर रहा है, तो सिर्फ जहां से उसने टैक्सेबल सप्लाई किया सिर्फ वहीं पे उसको रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना है.
ठीक है.
ठीक है, तो बेसिकली फॉर बेंचमार्क हमें सब कुछ चेक करना है. नाम ही क्या है? एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर. सारा टर्नओवर टोटल कर लो बैठ के. डू द टोटल ऑफ ओवरऑल एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर. अंडरस्टूड? ठीक है, चलो अभी आगे बढ़ते हैं. आउटवर्ड सप्लाई टैक्सेबल अंडर आरसीएम. मैम व्हाट इफ आउटवर्ड सप्लाई टैक्सेबल अंडर आरसीएम? अरे outward supply is your supply. When it is inward supply under RCM, when it was inward supply under RCM, it was excluded because it was not at all a supply, it was purchased. अब it is outward supply and taxable under RCM. अरे it is turnover तो तुम्हारा ही होगा ना, it will be counted as your turnover. तो outward supply is counted as RCM. Outward supply under RCM counted under aggregate turnover. Done? Now aggregate exclude GST के elements already discussed. Aggregate turnover to include all the branch ka turnover under same pen, already discussed. Value of exported goods, service, exempt service, etc., including interstate supply between distinct persons same pen. That means aggregate means any kind of turnover, whether it is interstate, whether it is intrastate, whether it is exempt, whether it is export, any kind of turnover will make your aggregate turnover. आया ये समझ में? Done? Say yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Agree? Physically यहाँ, mentally किधर?
मैं आई हूँ.
Me.
Yes. Say yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm here.
Aggregate turnover to include. Have you already discussed? It will include own account का turnover on behalf of principal. Already done. Now again an important thing. Aggregate turnover versus turnover in state. Now you will get confused. Turnover in state you will use in composition scheme. Aggregate turnover you have to use only in registration. In registration you will use aggregate turnover ka concept. Turnover in state you will use specifically in composition levy. Now what is the difference between aggregate turnover and turnover in state? इधर देखो सबसे पहले. When it comes to turnover in state, I am registered again in MP, I am registered in UP, I am registered in Maharashtra. ठीक है. First of all, I will calculate my overall turnover of MP. Then I will calculate my overall turnover in UP. Then I will calculate my overall turnover I have done in Maharashtra. So this is my turnover in state, turnover in state, turnover in state. And when I do total, that is my aggregate turnover. Are you getting? So it is turnover in state, turnover in state, turnover in state. And when I do the total, it comes to be aggregate turnover. So when it comes to registration, do not check turnover in state as a benchmark. Always check aggregate turnover as a benchmark. And when it comes to application of composition levy, etc., then you will find the use of turnover in state. Right now, you don't find the use of it, but in composition levy, for the purpose of payment of tax, you will find turnover in state ka use. Repeating in Hindi, टर्नओवर इन स्टेट मतलब स्टेट में अपने अलग अलग टर्नओवर को पहले कैलकुलेट करो. सारे स्टेट्स के टर्नओवर को जब आप कैलकुलेट कर चुके होगे और उसको भी सबमिशन करोगे, वो आपको एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर देगा. आया? Now again we have done this. Value of goods after the completion of job work supplied directly from the premises of job worker. This will not be part of your aggregate turnover. Done. So this was basically all about your section number 22. Again, registered job worker. This is buyer. He is supplying directly. This is nothing but a chart for that understanding we have already taken. Now, threshold limit is my 20 lakh. Yes. However, in special category state, my special category state threshold limit will not be 20 lakh, it will be 10 lakh. These are the 11 special category state. Now, what are the 11 special category state? सबसे पहले मिजोरम, then Manipur, Meghalaya. So M3, Mizoram, Manipur, Meghalaya. Then Nagaland. ठीक है, तो Mizoram, Manipur, Meghalaya, 3 M's are there. Mizoram, Manipur, Meghalaya. Then Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, A square. Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, A square, M. So men, M-A-N men, M for Mizoram, Manipur, Meghalaya, A for Arunachal, Assam and N for Nagaland. ठीक है? Men of Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Tripura. Now you have to write. Let me create something. आई थिंक ये ऑलरेडी एक फैकल्टी का है, वो भी ले सकते हो तुम, सतनाम करके। सिक्किम, आसाम, अरुणाचल प्रदेश, त्रिपुरा, नागालैंड एंड 3 मणिपुर, मिजोरम, मेघालय।
This is
सतनाम जेके महेश गौड़ सर का शायद ये,
And Uttarakhand.
ठीक है।
And it is Seven Sisters. Yes,
Yes, ma'am. North is 7 sister state and
And
3
then
Pahadi
Sikkim.
state.
Okay,
That is
you can write this. Satnam JKU. So it is Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Tripura, Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur, Meghalaya, Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand.
H is also Himachal Pradesh is also not included.
कुछ लिख लो, मतलब I don't know how to create. I have to think and then I have to create this. Done? Write down all the names of 11 special category state.
There are 10 or 11.
11. Done? So that are basically 11 states, but for purpose of 10 lakh it is only M square NT. M square NT means Mizoram, Manipur, Tripura, Nagaland. So remember it's M square NT for 10 lakh. M square, Mizoram, Manipur. Only 10 lakh we need. Money is 10 lakh. Manipur, so you will remember money 10 lakh. Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Nagaland. मनी चाहिए 10 लाख की मनी चाहिए, ऐसे याद रखना। तो याद रहेगा कि मणिपुर के लिए 10 लाख है, तो मिजोरम, मणिपुर, नागालैंड, त्रिपुरा। डन? यहाँ तक हो गया?
हम बाकी सब में 20 लाख ही है, बाकी
ना 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 ना, अभी नहीं, अभी धीरे धीरे ऐड ऑन होगा। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, हैव यू लर्न द 11 कैटेगरी स्टेट?
Yes.
Then out of that m square nt is 10 lakh. Out of that m square nt कितना है? 10 lakh. Now we will move to 40 lakh वाला. Then whatever rest is remaining उस पे 20 lakh आएगा. Now my government is empowered to enhance the threshold limit from 20 lakh to 40 lakh. Yes. Specifically, exclusively when it is supply of goods. If my supplier is exclusively engaged in the supply of goods in such state which is recommended by the council, you will find that the threshold limit is 40 lakh. First of all, clear one thing, 40 lakh only when exclusively supply of goods. A person shall be considered to be engaged exclusively in supply of goods, even if engaged in exempt supply of services provided by way of extending the deposit, loan, advance, in so far as consideration represented by interest or discount. This is important for composition scheme. This is important for this 40 lakh wala limit. This is a mega exempted thing also. Understand one thing. अब इसको बहुत अच्छे से समझना. आज मैं निशट. Okay. चलो. सबसे पहली चीज, the first thing. I am a shopkeeper. ठीक है? I am a shopkeeper. Now tell me, a shopkeeper will be providing advances for purchase. Say yes or no. Now, when he is giving advances for the purpose of purchase, suppose that person who was supposed to supply something, he got late and he is required to pay the interest now on that advance. होता है ना? Are you getting? This person who wants to get the purchase, he wants purchase, so he has given certain advance. This person failed to deliver the product on time, so it was decided that you have to pay me the interest. Now tell me, is it something transaction of money? Advance giving is transaction of money, but getting interest is a supply of service. We have studied where in service anything for consideration. Transaction in money and you are getting something as a consideration, extra consideration will be service. Now they are saying 40 lakh ka limit is applicable only when there is exclusive supply of goods. Now tell me, even a single shopkeeper who fails to do this kind of transaction, even if you are not doing this, you go to the bank, you do the fixed deposit. Bank giving you interest. You do the fixed deposit, you deposit your money in your account, bank is giving you interest. Every time there is transaction in money, you are getting interest on your deposit. That is supply of service. So that means ये 40 lakh तो किसी भी business में applicable नहीं हो सकता. Because every business is doing service. Even I have my saving account, even I have my business account. If I have my saving and business account, I am getting what? Interest on that. So इसका मतलब तो I am supplying services. So would you find even a single business जहाँ पे फिर supply of service नहीं हो? So in such a case, specifically this kind of service was mega exempted, and you will find this wala service again in mega exempt. Why? Because they are saying if you extend deposit, you provide loan or you give advance, and in turn you get interest on discount, it is mega exempted. And this is the purpose they have to exempt this, because exempt supply of goods, exempt supply of service, registration not needed. So even they are saying exclusively for the purpose of 22 subsection 1, person shall be considered to be engaged in supply of goods even if he is engaged in this service. Now what about aggregate turnover? Would we count it in aggregate turnover? That in composition scheme you will find they are not even counting it in aggregate turnover. They have created an exception. Don't count it in aggregate turnover. For the time being, I am not discussing that.
Can this be the reason for it that it is the fund that they are arranging for continuing the business, but not actually?
ना, उसका तो reason ही नहीं है ना. सीधी बात है, मैं तुम्हें कुछ पैसा दे रही हूँ, उसके लिए तुम मुझे इंटरेस्ट दे दोगी. तुम बैंक को मैंने मेरा पैसा वहाँ पे डिपॉजिट किया, तुम इंटरेस्ट दोगी, तो ये तो हो गया सर्विस. तो वही है ना सर्विस. तो अब तो ऐसे तो हर बिजनेस सर्विस करेगा, बिकॉज एवरी बिजनेस हैज अ सेविंग अकाउंट. तो ऐसे में तो फिर एक भी जगह तुम्हारा 40 लाख हो ही नहीं सकता, एप्लीकेबल ही नहीं हो. सो बेसिकली दे हैव मेगा exempted. Understood?
Yes.
Now, government can enhance 20 to 40 lakh. Yes, okay, it is exclusive supply of goods. Even if you do this kind of service, advancing of loan or giving deposit, etc., it will be considered as mega exempt. Notification says exempt any person who is engaged in exclusive supply of goods whose aggregate turnover does not exceed 40 lakh. Okay. Basically, कहाँ के लिए आया था? When you will find it, basically it was for tourism related places. जहाँ पे बहुत वैसी already क्या होता है? Already at some tourism related places seasonal चीजें होती हैं, जैसे जम्मू एंड कश्मीर seasonal है. You will not go in winters. So basically they have included this for basic that kind of places so that at least 40 lakh तक they do not get registered. Only when it is exclusively supply of goods. Now exceptions. Focus because exception maybe you will find exception here. Exception is person who is compulsorily required to get registered. When you are compulsory required to get registered, so there is no threshold limit, whether it is 10 lakh, whether 20 lakh, whether 40 lakh, threshold limit ही नहीं होता है. So again, this thing does not apply if you are required to get registered compulsory. Person engaged in making this notified goods ka manufacturing. There are certain goods that have been notified. Suppose you are making tobacco ka substitute. अरे revenue बहुत है उधर. How can you do this 40 lakh and online? If you are engaged in making supplies of ice cream, edible ice, whether or not containing coca, pan masala, just remember ice cream, edible oil, pan masala, only that has been written. You don't need to go with the chapter 24. Okay. So if you are engaged in all these things, your limit will be 20 lakh instead of 40 lakh. They are not saying zero is the limit. Zero limit at compulsory registration. Here the limit will be 20 lakh. And if you are engaged in making intrastate, supplies in Meghalaya, Sikkim, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Arunachal Pradesh, in such a case, Puducherry, in such a case, again it is 20 lakh. Ma'am, what if it is interstate supply of goods? If interstate supply of goods liable to compulsory registration already covered in A. Now understand the crux. First of all, if section 24 compulsory registration, get yourself registered, no 40 lakh ka limit. Second, if you are from where, if you are doing all this kind of manufacturing, again 20 lakh ka limit, no 40 lakh ka limit to you. But what about this? This needs analysis of the table. You would not understand like this. Yaad bhi nahi rehne wala. So this we will do with the table. First of all, if it is compulsory registration under 24, no limit. If you are engaged in this kind of supplies, this kind of manufacturing, again your limit will be 20 lakh. Now come here. If you are voluntary registered, अरे अपनी मर्जी से you have taken registration, तो why we will talk about any threshold limit? If you are getting voluntary registered, again this 40 lakh ka limit not applicable. First of all, 40 lakh ka limit not applicable. If compulsory registration, if notified goods में you are engaged, or if it is voluntary registration. So C and B, voluntary registration, notified goods, or it is compulsory registration, no 40 lakh ka limit will be applicable. Done with this? Now this is your chart. When it comes to M square NT, limit will be 10 lakh. When it comes to M square NT, limit will be 10 lakh. Then PAM travel US. Right here keyword PAM travel US. PAM NT कहाँ travel कर रही है? US में. कितने रुपए लेके जाएंगी? How much she will take? 20 lakh. So PAM travel US. So PAM when travels to US take 20 lakh rupees. M square NT 10 lakh. PAM travel US 20 lakh. इसके बाद whatever is rest, Jammu Kashmir, Assam, Himachal Pradesh and other state, you will have a 40 lakh limit. Can I write here? जो है. That means Jammu and Kashmir, other states, Himachal Pradesh, chota. This word is chota, that is Assam. And here the word is very bada. PAM travel US. Here you will write Arunachal Pradesh. 10 lakh पे क्या क्या है? M square NT. 20 lakh PAM travel US. Then 40 lakh जो है Jammu Kashmir, other state, Assam and your Himachal Pradesh. Learn it right now. First of all, write 11 state, then 10 lakh wala state, then like 20 lakh wala state, and then write 40 lakh ka state. Quickly. क्या रे तुम लोग ध्यान रखा करो ना, तुम्हारा काम है ये, मेरा नहीं है. So we have started with compulsory registration. What is compulsory registration? Compulsory means no threshold limit. When it is no threshold limit, सबसे पहले, if you do interstate supply, taxable it should be. Remember, even it is interstate and taxable supply, compulsory registration. Whenever CPP, compulsory registration, we have already discussed CTP का point कि अगर 180 days से कम दूसरे state में जाके you want to do the business, first prior registration needed. When it is reverse charge, compulsory registration. NRTP, compulsory registration. Tax collection के purpose के लिए ECO compulsory required to get registered or state-wise registration needed for ECO. You want to deduct tax, compulsory registration. Now they are saying even an agent is required to get compulsory registered. अब हुआ क्या? Why an agent is compulsorily required to get registered? 1 crore का turnover I am getting. I do not want to get registered. नहीं भैया, 1 crore is my turnover now. I don't want to get registered. Amit, from today you would be my agent. Harsha, you would be my agent. Nikki, you would be my agent. Ashwini, you would be my agent. What I am trying to do? I will appoint बहुत सारे agents. And I will divert my turnover. ऐसे turnover divert करना is not possible. So even if you supply through an agent, then agent is compulsory required to get registered by agent के turnover में own account पे supply किया या supplied on behalf of principal. Remember? Just now you have done either supplied on own turnover on behalf of principal you are supplying वो उसी का turnover है. That means principal, if you are not paying the taxes now, you are appointing an agent. That agent will pay the taxes because it is his turnover. Understood? Lotus के products होते हैं. Then all this distributor agency you take. अपने behalf पे तुम क्या करते हो? सेल करते हो ना, agency you take. तो उसमें क्या हो रहा है? तुम्हारा ही टर्नओवर है, भले ही you are selling the products of some other person. Cosmetics हो गया, या ये पेंट वगैरह की चीजें हो गई. All this thing are what? White washing की चीजें agency लेते हैं ना लोग. तो agency में it is your turnover only, but you should compulsory get registered because you are selling their things. और तुम तो invoice अपने नाम पे ही generate करते हो. Getting? Then have we discussed that input service distributor only you are getting registered for purpose of distributing the input? Input के distribution के लिए ही तुम यहाँ पे register हुए हो, तो तुम्हें separate registration लेना है. Even though you have normal registration, still for the purpose of distribution of ITC, you have to again get registered. Have we discussed input service distributor?
And what is input service distributor?
Specifically, they distribute input, ITC. They distribute input tax credit. Specifically, input tax credit distribution के लिए they are there. ITC में again we will discuss this. So if you want to distribute tax credit, अरे credit distribute करने के लिए बैठे हो तो compulsory registration is needed. Even you have normal registration for sale purchase, but still for ITC distribution a separate registration is needed.
To whom he will distribute, no?
That we will discuss. That is a concept ITC. They will head office will distribute to the units.
Okay.
ठीक है. अभी for the time being, specifically ITC input service distributor get registered only for purpose of tax ITC distribution. only for the purpose of IT distribution they are getting registered. They do not do any other kind of supply. But if they do any other kind of supply, still they have to get this separate registration. ऑलरेडी अगर मैं सप्लाई करती हूँ, मैं रजिस्टर्ड हूँ, नॉर्मल रजिस्ट्रेशन है, फिर भी मुझे आईटीसी वाला ये रजिस्ट्रेशन अलग से लेना होगा. OIDR we have discussed online information database access retrieval service, compulsory registration. And if you are liable to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism under section 9 subsection 5, वो ECO वाली 3 सर्विस है ना, HET. If compulsory required to pay tax under RCM, get compulsory registration. You have to remember this compulsory registration के points. ठीक है? So task for today, 22, 23, learn it. Only half an hour you will take, learn it properly. And along with that, should I give any task? Yeah, demand and recovery के question have you completed? Now TDS के again solve the questions. All the questions of TDS, TCS you have already done. Now TDS. ठीक है? ओके, चलो.
मैम कल आपने डाउट सॉल्व नहीं किया था.
डॉट सॉल्व नहीं किया, मुझे एटलीस्ट स्क्रीनशॉट भेजा करो. मैं कहाँ होती हूँ, किधर होती हूँ, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. स्क्रीनशॉट भेज दिया करो क्वेश्चन का, मुझे क्वेश्चन के नंबर मत भेजो. ठीक है? बाकी का जो तुम्हारा डाउट था मैंने सॉल्व कर दिया था उसी वक्त. ठीक है? और बाकी किसी का डाउट नहीं आते क्या?
Generally, I'll not get out.
वेरी गुड. एंड ट्राई टू सी, एक और चीज मैं पहले भी शिविर तुम्हें बोली हूँ, ट्राई टू बी एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड. डोंट ट्राई टू क्रिएट मेनी केसेस, बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे बाद में. ठीक है? क्योंकि एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड